Welcome to Mind Body Balance, the podcast dedicated to empowering you on your journey to self-care and well-being. I'm your host, Valerie, and together we'll explore the transformative world of self-care, delving into practices that nurture your mind, body, and spirit. In each episode, we'll embark on a mindful exploration of various self-care techniques, from simple daily rituals to profound life-changing practices. Join me as I share insights, tips, and personal stories to inspire you to prioritize your own well-being. This podcast is your sanctuary for self-discovery, where we'll discuss mindfulness, mental health, journaling, and everything in between. Whether you're a seasoned self-care enthusiast or just starting your journey, Mind Body Balance is here to support you in creating a life filled with balance, joy, and self-love. So let's embark on this transformative adventure together. Get ready to prioritize yourself one mindful moment at a time. Welcome to Mind Body Balance, where self-care meets inspiration. Welcome back to Mind Body Balance, the podcast where faith and self-care meet. I'm your host, Valerie, and today we're stepping into a new season, not just in nature, but in spirit. October reminds us that even in the falling leaves, there's beauty in letting go. Sometimes God calls us to release things like habits, fears, even timelines, so He can grow something new within us. This episode is all about learning to let go and let God. Before we jump into anything, this is a new segment of the podcast, Mind Body Balance, called Rooted in the Word. And if you're new to the podcast altogether, I want to say, hey, come in, get comfortable. This is a safe, positive space. If you're a returning listener, I just want to, again, let you guys know how much your listenership is appreciated, because without you, this podcast would not be a success. And y'all know my saying, I don't like to talk to myself. I like to talk, but I don't like talking to myself, so I appreciate you being here. For the newcomers, if you like what you hear, I hope that you come back. I like to talk about things that can build or help you build your self-care routine. But this is just a new segment. Have you ever noticed how effortlessly the trees release their leaves in autumn? Well, you might notice somewhere else. You might not notice in Texas, where I'm at. We don't get a lot of beautiful red, yellow, orange leaves. We just get the brown leaves. And then guess what? The trees don't have no leaves. They're just bare. But the leaves in the fall, they don't cling to what's dying. They trust the process, the same process that leads to renewal in the spring, right? That's what faith looks like, trusting that when we let go, God will sustain us. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, it reminds us that to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Maybe this is your season to release control over outcomes, over people, over how you thought things should look. Letting go doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're choosing peace over pressure, right? When we hold on too tightly, we often block God's hand from moving freely in our lives. Sometimes He can't get the blessing to us. He can't pour the new blessings into our hands because guess what? We're still holding on to what He's asked us to release. You know, if you've been praying for peace, clarity, or breakthrough, ask yourself, is there something I need to surrender first? And in these past few months, I do have to, from a personal experience and point of view, it was a lot of things that I had to surrender to. It was hard, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna make it look like all, peaches and cream, sugar, and cute little sprinkles. It was hard. So here's a short prayer you can whisper today. Or if you don't want to whisper, if you in your prayer closet and you want to say this aloud, you can do that, or you can use it as a prayer breath, and that's what I mean by whisper. But you can say, God, let your will be done. Help me to trust you in this season. Even when I don't understand the why, remind me that your ways are higher than mine. Teach me to release what no longer serves your purpose in my life, and to rest in the peace that comes from your presence. And then I want you to take a deep breath right now, and then inhale his grace, and then exhale control. And like I said, it's not going to be easy. It's something that you're going to have to be intentional about, but I'm believing and praying that you'll be able to do so. If you're journaling with me this week, here's your reflection prompt. What is God asking me to release this season? What is God asking me to release this season? Write whatever comes to mind. It could be a fear. It could be a person, a mindset. It could be a plan that just will not come to fruition. But write them all down, and then next to it, write, Lord, I give this back to you. And if it's meant to be, let the Holy Spirit speak to you and let you know in which direction He wants you to go. That's how surrender becomes self-care. It's not weakness, it's trust in action. Also this week, I encourage you to practice a small act of surrender. Maybe it's deleting that email you've rewritten 5 times, or choosing prayer over panic. Maybe it's simply saying, God, I don't know what's next, but I know you're already there. Remember, letting go doesn't mean losing control. It means placing control in the right hands. In closing, as you move through this week, let nature remind you, change can be beautiful when you trust the one guiding it. If this episode spoke to your spirit today, take a moment to share with someone who may need the reminder to release and rest in God's peace. And as always, take care of your mind, nurture your body, and guard your balance, because that's where God meets you. Until next time, stay rooted in the Word and wrapped in grace. Bye. As we come to the end of another rejuvenating episode of Mind Body Balance, I want to express my gratitude for joining me on this self-care journey. Remember, your well-being is a priority, and each small step you take towards self-care contributes to a happier and more fulfilled life. If you found today's episode insightful, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback is invaluable, and it helps me continue bringing you content that resonates with your self-care needs. Stay connected with me on social media for updates, additional resources, and a community of like-minded individuals who are also committed to their well-being. You can find me on BioLink at bio.link/selfcarewithval. Before we part ways, take a moment for yourself. Breathe deeply, appreciate the present moment, and carry the positive energy you've cultivated here into your day. Thank you for allowing Mind Body Balance to be a part of your self-care routine. Until next time, be kind to yourself, prioritize self-love, and savor the mindful moments that make life truly extraordinary. Wishing you peace, joy, and a journey filled with self-discovery. Bye.